Welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. Today, I'm joined by Chris Breuer, who is a very new member of the tribe. Chris, welcome to the team. And
Thanks,
go.
Josh. Happy to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. So you're an account development specialist with LeadMD. You don't necessarily have a marketing background, yeah?
Not strictly. No, I
Okay.
wouldn't qualify it that way. Yeah.
No problem at all. So how did you wind up working for a marketing company?
So I've always lived at the intersection of project management and sales,
Okay.
which is sort of nice because if I'm taking calls with prospects and understanding their business, their pain points, and what we can solve for them, and then if they happen to become a client, then the transition to management is very, very smooth. I already know it. It's up in here. And then I can, translate their pain and needs into something tactical and strategic.
Right.
And I think that plays rather naturally into marketing because, I've been able to sort of being at that intersection transitions very nicely there.
Good. So now you are, tasked with being one of the frontline sellers with a marketing company. And we're operating in a different environment right now where there's sensitivity around a lot of different things. What's your take on how you respectfully outreach? Because, we got to keep business moving, right? We can't just stop.
Absolutely.
So what are things that you're thinking about?
Yeah, the same goes for our prospects too. I mean, they want to keep business going right now.
Right.
So it sort of goes without saying, and especially at the beginning of this crisis, that reaching out had to be both respectful and with an air of caring toward the client, approaching them as people, understanding that they're suffering as well, and that their business might be. And so there was a personal, gentle touch. I would classify it that way.
Sure.
These days, though, we're several months into this now, months into quarantine, and I think that message is beginning to become stale.
Yeah.
Right now, and people are sort of reverting back, not in a bad way, toward let's just talk business. Let's do
get back to it.
Let's work. Yeah. I know you care. We all care.
Right.
We all are compassionate about to one another about what's happening right now, but
sure,
let's get down to it.
Does it change how you target in terms of the types of companies, industries, things like that?
Yes, I would say it definitely changes in terms of the verticals that we're approaching, because some are certainly suffering right now and do need to pump the brakes on business. I'm thinking, restaurant industries, especially those who either cannot or are unable to do deliveries, those sorts of things. However, healthcare, telehealth, other industries like that, absolutely, they're growing faster than they probably ever anticipated for 2020.
Yeah. In marketing, we often talk about going in for the kill too fast, right? Like not taking the time to build the relationship, just like, putting an ad with a call to action. There's no like nurturing, right? And I think the same applies to sales. So what are those things that you'd like to do early on to start to build a relationship rather than just going in for the kill right away?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think that is probably something that marketers and salespeople ask themselves on a daily basis, right? How am I going to approach this? What's the right venue? Should I be trying to reach out, over LinkedIn? Should I give them a call? Should I be sending an email? Is this the right time to, hit them in some other way? As I said, I think that's something we ask ourselves every day. And it's highly contextualized.
Right.
It depends on whom you're reaching out to, what their vertical is, how urgent do you think their need is right now?
Right.
For someone with a medical practice who suddenly finds themselves having to transition to telemedicine, it's very urgent. You know it.
Yeah.
And that will be reflected in my outreach and messaging to them.
Yeah.
That's how I would play something like that. But in other contexts, it might be very different.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I always think about, that intersection of, if you're not ready for the ask, whatever that ask may be, and ask for a meeting and ask for a sale and ask for whatever, there's two things in my mind that you can do, right? There's always, you can educate or you can gather information. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you do happen to get somebody on the phone or you get an interaction, a LinkedIn thread going, whatever it may be, trying to think of those ways to educate versus information gather is a little bit of a fine balance, right? And all of that goes into building that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And threading that line is actually, I think, an effective way of building that relationship, right? Because you can probably engage in a back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I remember there was a colleague of mine who I thought did a great job of this. And part of their funnel building strategy was just always having at least a dozen open threads on LinkedIn with different prospects, just pointing out stuff in the industry. It was a balance of educating and peppering questions in that eventually got them to that point where it's like, you know what, I think you should take a meeting because of XYZ. Right. And you start to build that relationship via social where, it's sometimes tougher to get people on the phone now. I think it's just a cool avenue to go down.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you got on your mind while I have you?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm as you said at the beginning, I'm a noob, and I'm delighted to be here. This is not only because it's such a cool group of people, but also because, I mean, this is a very interesting time, and we want to be the best we can be, and for our clients, right?
Yep. Yeah, and for my purposes, highlighting all the members of the tribe is important, no matter what the role and tenure with the company at this point. Everyone's got some sort of insight to bring, so I appreciate you taking a little bit of time with me.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, Chris.